So, what are we going to do to... It's interesting how everybody's learning to play. Even the Ayatollahs. People who refuse to play are playing now. They're willing to understand that manipulating the will of the people is almost an organized racket. But it's a necessary evil, because democracy otherwise is impossible. Democracy is impossible. I'm part of the hypocrisy myself. I know very well that I'm part of the hypocrisy, because I believe in it. I am not only a believer, I am a supporter, because every other system, I'm historical, every other system has failed to work. Oops, there we go. I can't even get a stand to hold this thing up. Regardless, so today we have Benjamin Netanyahu's home, or yesterday, hit by a drone. This idea that, look, we understand leaders come and go, it is democracy. We understand that there's a perpetuality in institution, and that people come and go. There are parties, they're subject to investigation if they don't make good decisions. Executive power sometimes is overreached, and when executive power is overreached, we have ways to do an oversight and a committee and an investigation, and that's how it's done. So most Arabs understand already. It's a big deal for Arabs to understand this. It's like putting a governor. It's like the Sultan calling for the governor, but we don't know the Sultan. Do you understand? That's how cool this is. It's like someone is calling for this. It's an invisible hand. It's an invisible mind. It's an invisible system. But it's all put into framework. It's law. There doesn't have to be a figurehead. There's judges, there's jurists that make sure that that thing stays alive. That thing is a machine, and that machine has people greasing its wheels, fixing the parts that are needing repair and so on. And that's how it works. And that's so cool, because so the people themselves, even Hezbollah themselves, are saying, look, we want this to end. We want you guys to blame Netanyahu and seal this, get this deal done. We want you guys to end this. We're blaming Netanyahu. It's not personal. We understand. It's a different era. Israel has existential issues. It's got psychological problems. It comes from the Holocaust. These people were treated like rats and dogs and killed without any concern. We get it. We get it. But now it's time to end it. And that's what's really going on. They're ending it. They're trying to end it. They're trying to say that that's it. There's no more need for any more war. You've done your damage. You've done the destruction. You've taken your revenge. It was horrible this happened to your country and your people, but it's time to change the game now. Change the game a little bit. Let's end this round and let's start something new. And let's maybe, what's the next generation? Yahya Sinwar is dead. What's the next generation? What is that going to look like? That's what we have to think about. What is the new generation going to look like? What do you want Hamas to look like? Will they educate under us? No, they won't. They won't learn a thing from us. Will they continue on the same way, or is there a change? Has social media taught them anything? Can you learn something from social media? Sure, look at this. I'm giving so much information, bringing up ideas and thoughts just by a video I post up on YouTube. And imagine the millions and millions and millions of viewing and listening material that people have to learn education from. Even if it's misinformation, eventually that there's a system there too, correcting itself. They're trying to clean up wherever there's misinformation. So my viewpoint is that much. I think that missile strike on Netanyahu's home is to say, look, we just want you guys to go after him. Now he could have used this to his advantage too. He can be the gruesome dictator, and he could be like, nobody's gonna dare attack any Israeli citizen, and I am the Israeli citizen, and he can go and play Big Brother all he wants. He can. There'll be people that'll be pissed off. He can do it in his very Jewish Israeli way, in his culture. He has a culture. He's a human being, and his own people are going to hate him for it. He can do that, or he can totally back away. He can totally back down and say, no, I won't take it personally. is about Israel. It's about our citizens. And this has nothing to do with me. It has to do with me, but I'm not going to take the bait, get angry, and make 2 or 3 bad decisions. It's millions and billions of dollars that get spent every time they go on a campaign. And that's all. I think that's all I wanted to talk about, was the current events and how things are taking place, and how we can learn to think about all this again.